So in today's competitive environment, to get a self-storage site or an existing facility, some folks are making offers sight unseen, especially if it's something out of state and it isn't feasible for them to be able to catch a plane to go out and take a look at it before they put an offer on, for fear that you may miss out on it. Well, do as I say, not as I do. I will admit that I have done that, but it doesn't mean that I won't get to the end of due diligence without going in and visiting that site. And there's a number of things that we're going to be talking about in the next videos about what we need to look at specifically at the site. But what I want to do is ahead of time is kind of set that up. So what we want to do is that we can schedule it with the owner out on site. You're going to get a heck of a lot more information if you're still in that negotiation phase. And let's face it, we're always negotiating up until closing, even through due diligence. I want to meet with the owner, meet with the broker as well if it is listed, so that we can walk through the facility and he or she can tell you about their baby and give you the history of it. While I'm there, I want to get a copy of the current site plan that they have, and even the building plans when it was constructed, depending upon what phase it's in, or even if this is something that's been plotted. I want to get as much of that information as possible so I don't have to pay for it or recreate it. I also want to get a phase 1 environmental if they have that from the past, or if they have something that's current. And even if it is outdated, I'm going to want to go back to that same company and negotiate with them to get a lower price on another phase 1, just updated from them. Of course, I want to get the financials. I want to see their rent roll. I'd love to see a P&L for as long as possible. And again, depending upon whether this is just the first visit out to the site to meet the owner, or if it's actually during due diligence and you're under contract, you're going to gather as much as possible. But even in the initial stages, if I can get the property management summary report, a rent roll, and a unit mix, we're good to go to do the analysis and the evaluation, and then obviously more during due diligence. I'm going to get as many pictures as possible while I'm out at the site, and I usually walk it twice. The first time I'm walking through and I'm matching up the rent roll with the locks that are on the units, and then the second time I'm going through and I'm taking pictures of all the, or if there is a lot, of deferred maintenance and other areas that I'm going to go back and make note of. I'd love to get an aerial picture of it if they have it. If not, then if you have a drone or can have somebody take a picture, it's a great way to get a good feeling for the site. Sometimes we use these for inspecting roofs on multi-story facilities as well, so just a key part of our due diligence. I'm going to look around at the neighbors, who's immediately behind, who's immediately next door. And then I'm going to drive at least 1 mile to 2 miles in all 4 directions. Now, I know not every facility is on a corner, but you know what I mean. You want to see what's going in and around this site. I'm also going to stop in and visit the local Chamber of Commerce, and although I gather a lot of information off of their website, I want to talk to somebody and find out just exactly what is going on in this city, in this town. Is there growth occurring? Are there businesses moving out? Who is moving in? I want to get a good feel for what's happening in this area. And then I'm going to go to the local zoning department as well. I can take a look online to find out if there are permits being pulled for other, self-storage facilities. I certainly want to know that. Are there more rooftops coming in? Are there apartment complexes? Are there residential neighborhoods coming in? Who's planning on building in and around this site, so I know exactly what is coming. So those are some of the things that we're going to do in terms of our homework ahead of time before we get out to the site and while we're there. And we're going to cover the rest once we head inside as well.
Listen, there has never been a better time to invest in self-storage, and there is no better team than ours to show you how to do it, because we wrote the book on how to invest in self-storage. Literally, I created the best-selling home study system back in 2007 titled How to Find, Evaluate, Purchase, and Manage Self-Storage Facilities. And since then, we have helped thousands of people launch and scale their self-storage business and have now become the nation's go-to resource for all things self-storage. And that's because we not only talk the talk, we walk the walk. Day in and day out since 2005 through now 2 recessions and amassing a 2.5 million square feet of self-storage, totaling over 15,000 doors nationwide. There is nobody else that has more experience in self-storage that is teaching people how to invest in self-storage than our team. So if you're ready to launch and scale your self-storage business, then go to selfstorageinvesting.com, click on the events tab to grab your ticket to the upcoming Self-Storage Academy, along with tickets to our virtual academy for those who can't make it or just aren't ready to go live at this time. So that, again, is selfstorageinvesting.com. Click on the event tab, but do it now as seating is limited, so go do it now. And on behalf of my team, we look forward to seeing you then. Take care.